Hello. What I'm about to read to you is something from Islam Watch called Telling the Truth About Islam. Islam Under Scrutiny by Ex-Muslims, and this is written by an ex-Muslim named Mumin Salih, who asked the question, how can Allah have a son when he has no wife? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this. If you're a Muslim, I'd like you to point out what he's gotten wrong, if he has gotten anything wrong, okay? So we'll study Islam together here. And as I read this, see where the guy might have lied, okay? Alright. Okay. How can Allah have a son when he has no wife? By Mumin Salih, written in 25th November 2007. Okay, we will check and see how this thing works out. Okay. The above question, how can Allah have a son when he has no wife, which derives from verse 6, or Quran 6, verse 107, verse 101, in the Quran, holds a clue to Muhammad's imagination of the nature of Allah's existence and his capabilities. It also exposes the Quran's extraordinary lack of consistency and common sense. Like many other verses in the Quran, verse 6, or Surah 6, verse 101, suggests that by the time Muhammad released a verse, he had forgotten completely about what he had released in earlier years, hence remarkable contradictions. As a young Muslim, I used to read the above verse many times and noticed its appalling lack of common sense, but my suppressed Islamic brain couldn't notice anything in it other than unequaled eloquence and linguistic miracle. Having left Islam, I now fully perceive how asinine the Quran could be. Here is Hilali and Khan's translation of the above verse. In other words, the English version of the Quran that they made. This is Quran 6, verse 101. He is the originator of the heavens and the earth. How can he have children when he has no wife? He created all things, and he is the all-knower of everything. Hilali Khan used the word wife as a translation to the Arabic word sahiba, which is the feminine for friend. In other words, a girlfriend or consort. However, the word girlfriend is considered an un-Islamic Western concept that is too corrupt for a decent relationship between opposite sexes. The translators probably thought it would be better to avoid the use of the word girlfriend in order to show Allah, in order to not show Allah promoting Western culture and contemplating having an illegitimate child. According to the above verse, Allah wonders how could some people believe that he could have a son without he first having sexual intercourse with a woman, girlfriend or consort, and then causing the woman to give birth to that son. To Muhammad, it is simple and straightforward, because if a man wants to have a son, then he needs first to have a woman. Although such logic is only convincing to a person with a brain the size of an insect, yet Muhammad thought of it as the ultimate rebuttal to the Christians' claim that God has a son. It probably escaped to Muhammad's mind that elsewhere in his Quran, he doesn't stop talking about Allah's impressive record of creations. According to the Quran, Allah's portfolio includes masterpieces like the creation of angels, Adam and Eve, as well as the 7 skies and 7 heavens and 7 earths. So why did all that talent disappear when it came to the creation of his own child? How can we believe the excuse of no wife, no child, when Muhammad claimed in the Quran that when Allah wants something, he only needs to say be, and it is done. And then he gives the Quranic scriptures where it says that. Should I read them? Well, what the heck, I'll read it. And you can see if he screwed up here, okay? Quran 2:117. When he decrees a matter, he only says to it be, and it is. This famous claim of kun fayakun, Arabic for be and it is repeated not once but 6 more times in the Quran. There's 347, 359, 1614, 1935, 3682, and 4068. Okay, the fading skills is this next part of this of this writing here by this ex-Muslim. So remember, if you're a Muslim and you feel he's lying, point out where you feel he's lying. Okay, don't say, "Oh, he's a liar." Show in comment form where he lied. Okay, the fading skills. The Quran describes proudly and repeatedly how Allah created Adam from clay, a straightforward process that seemed to go smoothly. The creation of the second human, Adam's wife, which the Quran describes briefly, seemed to be even more straightforward. However, based on the Quranic information, we have no idea how Allah created the first animals, but we assume it was so easy that Allah did not bother to describe it at all. Thousands of years down the line, Allah decided to destroy all of the corrupt humans, and with them all animals, and vowed to make a fresh start. That was the time when Allah ordered Noah to build his ark and carry with him a pair of every animal species. Those pairs functioned like the Adams and Eves of all animals. Muslims usually think of the decision to save those pairs of animals as an essential step to maintain wildlife. Well, it's not just Muslims that believe that. Okay. No wonder, however, why Allah had to do it that way when he could have maintained animal lives by just saying the magic word be. Yeah, we wonder. Yeah, we wonder, however, why Allah had to do it that way, using an ark, when he could have maintained the animals' lives just by saying the magic word be. Okay, this next title is called Blowing into Mary. The above verse is not only indication in the Quran that Muhammad's imagination of creation couldn't go beyond the scenario of sexual intercourse, pregnancy, and childbirth, which he applied to all, even to Allah. The same theme appears in Surah Al-Anbiya, where the Quran describes how Mary became pregnant. In verse 91 of Surah Al-Anbiya, that's Surah, or chapter 21, verse 91, the Quran reminds us of the story of Mary who protected her farj, Arabic word which means the genital opening between a woman's legs or vagina, until he blew into her from his spirit. Let us read this from Surah Al-Anbiya. Okay, this is how it goes. Surah 21, verse 91. And she guarded her chastity, Virgin Mary. We breathed in, all that's saying we, even though shirk is the worst of sins, we breathed into the sleeves of is added. So it's really, we breathed into her, but they added, we breathed into sleeves of, sleeve is added, her shirt or garment is added, through our Rûh Jibrael, Gabriel, and through our spirit, actually, Gabriel, and we made her and her son, Iesa, Jesus, a son for Alamin, the mankind and jinns. As usual, the above translation is completely deceptive. The word her chastity was used as a translation to the Arabic word farjaha, which is far from true. The Arabic root for farj means the female genital organ, vagina to be precise, and is used many times in the Quran to mean just that. Less commonly, the Quran also associated the word with males, in which case it refers to the male's genital organs or penises. In all cases, the word farj is a dirty Arabic word that is not expected to be found in decent Arabic writings. The word farj is not normally used among Arabs during a decent conversation. The Arabs refer to a woman with chastity by using words like afifa or sharifa, with no need at all to refer to her genital organ. Anyway, I think I'm running out of time here, so I'll turn this off here and create part 2. Bye.